Hey guys, what's going on? I hope you're having a great day. I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet. We have, this is just interesting stuff here. Adam Aron tweeted, on the 8K yesterday that they have extended their covenant waiver to March 31st of 2024. He didn't even have to do this till June. He went ahead and extended this even earlier, which is really great. Shows that there's probably not a whole, that he's proactive. It's a good sign. Believe it or not, I'm going to explain why. But people are kind of up in arms with the fact that he was thinking Citigroup, Goldman, and Credit Suisse. And I just kind of want to let people know that before the apes are ever in this play at all, before we ever thought about being in this play, that these three companies really came through and saved AMC at a time of some real distress. Look, this credit agreement, this is the original credit agreement right here. This goes back all the way to April 30th of 2013, right? And you have your lenders here, Citigroup, Bank of America as a syndication agent, Credit Suisse, HCBC, Barclays, Citigroup again, HSBC, right? These are the people that are all have their hands in this agreement. And you look at the number here is 925 million. What's interesting as I go through amendments to it, though, of the document, let's copy this. As I go through amendments of the document, we'll find that there is all kinds of different stuff that's kind of been sprinkled in throughout the years. You see this number 500 million here. This is the second amendment, but it's all based off of this original document, April 30th, 2013, okay? And so in this credit document, as a debt covenant works, a covenant basically, I'm trying to really make this simple for you guys, puts restrictions, okay, on what you can and can't do as a company. And in this case, that would be AMC. And this document is like over 150 pages, and the original credit agreement's like 70 pages. Haven't even got through all of it yet. But what I do want to show you, I want to give you an example of how some of this stuff works in terms of the restrictions that can be imposed on your company. So, for example, Credit Suisse, Citigroup, and you have Citigroup, Credit Suisse, Bank of America, Goldman. Goldman's not in this one. I'd imagine at one point it's probably in one of these different companies that got bought or something. But those three companies have a lot of say on what AMC can and cannot do when they have loaned them money. And I even pulled some of these, like, look at this section, restriction on fundamental changes, okay? Change in nature of business. You can't engage in any other loans or any other borrower, not in the ordinary course of business, and other than transactions among the loan parties, right? They basically, what I want to just kind of highlight without getting into too much, because again, I'm not a lawyer, but my take on this has been, hey, look, there's a lot of things that you cannot do when you're in this covenant. And when this was waived, when you get this waived, and that includes dividends for the record, like when this covenant waiver gets waived, a covenant waiver is when a lending temporarily forgives a borrower's breach of a loan covenant, or gives you like gives you a free pass. So instead of AMC having all this cash on hand and not being able to do anything with it because of these covenant restrictions, them waiving it allows AMC to do a lot of different things that otherwise they would not be able to do. So this is a really great win for AMC, believe it or not. Even though this has happened before, it is interesting the fact that he mentioned and cited all the banks and came out and said that. But I think it's actually not something where he's like giving them a finger or anything. I actually think he's going and saying, hey, thank you guys for doing this, because if not, things could be a lot different. His hands could very much be tied. So I just want you guys to at least be open-minded to the fact that, hey, look, these guys, it's not anything that they're necessarily 100% against AMC. It's they play at every side of everything, right? So and in this original basically credit agreement and in these amendments, you'll find restrictions on so many things that you can and cannot do. So what this really does all boil down to is, like, we needed to get out from under this. The waiver does help us, right? It gives us some ability to use this cash. But You also, I mean, we really need to get paid, because what happens if they decide not to waive the covenant next year, right? And then things become a lot more complicated. Hopefully we're not, still having to deal with this all the way to next year, but I just think it's important. And just as one little thing too, like in this thread, a company may merge with and into holdings, with holdings as a survivor entity of the AMC merger. However, if requested by the administrative agent or the required lenders, holding shall expressly assume the obligations of the prior borrower under this agreement. So it's, if they were to get acquired, or not even acquired, because it says it, you would have issues getting acquired. There's restrictions, but let's say you were doing a merger, the holding company would have to be the surviving entity anyway. So you would be merging with somebody, and your company would still be the last man standing. You know what I mean? And you would still be liable for all this again, which then would apply for all the restrictions that apply would then apply to you at that point. So again, it just really handcuffs them. And this waiver basically just gets rid of that for the next year, right? We don't have to worry about this again until 2025. And then we can start paying off this debt. Once the debt is really paid off, then we have none of this shit to worry about. But I just want to let you guys know, it's not like he's thanking our short sellers or anything like that. Like, these guys saved his company and really did us a solid by extending this out another year. But that's just my 2 cents. I will catch you guys on the next one. Love you long time. Peace.